You may begin.
Okay, as Americans, how many of you guys enjoy having rights in America? Okay, great. So we have many rights, such as voting rights, and Robin actually gave a really good speech on that, and somehow it just like tied into my speech. So yeah, we have rights such as voting rights, gun rights, and in some cases, your body rights. Now, women in this room, there has been a controversial issue with your rights pertaining to your body, and as most of you know, that issue is abortion. As a woman in America, we have the same rights as men, such as voting and owning again. But when it comes to our body, we are told what we can and cannot do with it. But what if I told you abortion isn't the only issue pertaining to your body? As a woman, I believe we should have rights on what we want to do with our body, and then that's why I think prostitution should be legalized. Prostitution is defined as an exchange of sex acts for money or something else of value. Now you may be thinking, why would you ever consider having prostitution be legalized? And that's what I will be talking about today. So with prostitution being legal in the United States, except for some counties in Nevada, has caused an uprise in arrests and convictions for prostitution. Prostitution is illegal for many reasons, such as creating a huge health crisis for STDs and AIDS, according to an article, Points of View Prostitution by Alex K. Newman. This is the first problem of prostitution and why it's illegal. In New Zealand, all forms of adult prostitution are legalized, with the government outlining details for health and safety requirements. As a solution, the United States can require certain medical reports pertaining to their sexual health and if it is safe for them to perform their tasks. Legalizing prostitution can be more safe for the prostitute and the client at hand, because there would be more health checks to help protect themselves, and the other person. As of right now, prostitution is a back alley business, and there's no safety precautions for the individual. But this can change if regulations and laws are put into place. Another reason why prostitution is remaining illegal is because of dangers of prostitution regarding their safety concerns. With prostitution being illegal, the prostitute does not have an area where her work would be done at. In the United States, women often will be on the street being escorted by pimps or escorts and are told what they cannot and can perform. In the state of Nevada, they use a brothel. And a brothel is a house or building where prostitutes are available. In other countries in the world, brothels are used, and there are certain requirements in order to work in a brothel, such as health checks, there's even licensing for it, and safety requirements. Working in a brothel can also decrease the criminal element of trade in prostitution, being legal, and can also have a decrease in crime with prostitutes, clients, and pimps. So for example, when there is prostitution on the streets, most of the time it is women on the streets, and the pimps are kind of watching over them and saying what they can and cannot do. And if there's prostitutes where they're not supposed to be, it can cause an issue with other people, and criminal acts can like rise, such as like loitering, or there can be gun violence. So using a brothel will help decrease that criminal activity, and it will also lead to safer work conditions for the prostitute and the client if the environment is controlled and legal, such as using a brothel. And now the biggest problem of prostitution as a whole is the money aspect. Prostitution is an issue because people pay for sexual acts and is punishable by government. By decriminalizing prostitution, it would and should be viewed as a victimless crime, because it is a private and legal arrangement between two consenting adults. And I believe that if two adults are wanting to pay for sexual acts, that it should be legal if it is both consenting, because you are legal of age and it should be okay to do. Adults choosing how they want to spend their money is their own right. What if I told you that money can actually benefit the society and can be good for the economy in a way with prostitution. Money would be saved in the areas of law enforcement, and revenue would be gained in form of taxes and commerce. The people who choose to work in prostitution have good reasons for doing this type of work, such as a single mother. If you have a single mother in prostitution, she's mainly working for her kids and paying bills, and prostitution is an easier way to get a good amount of money in a short amount of time. So as a single mother in today's society, it can be hard to make a good amount of money in order to make a living. That's why prostitution is an option for people in these positions, because they know they can get a good amount of money in a short amount of time. If prostitution were decriminalized and became legalized, individuals who want to participate in this profession can be required to file taxes, which would be beneficial for the government. If prostitutes can claim their wages, then law enforcement has less of an issue with prostitutes and pimps, and the law enforcement's tax money would go to more beneficial problems, such as underage prostitution. If prostitution were to be legalized, it would promote individualized freedoms because they will be allowed to have rights for their own body. In the end, this controversial issue is simply a victimless crime and a consensual agreement between two adults on a private matter. It would also create a safer environment for the individuals participating in this act, as well as the client at hand. Medical checkups would ensure protection from STDs and AIDS from the individual and client. Performing such acts at a brothel would also create a safer environment for the individual, leading to less crime on the streets. As a call to action, it is hard to say what we can do to help legalize prostitution, as it is a government say. There's no option for us to vote on an issue like this, and all we can do is take precautions. So if you are going to be, so prostitution is legal in most parts of the United States, and individuals will still perform it if they choose to, whether it is illegal or legal. There are precautions to take if you are going to participate in prostitution in order to keep yourself safe and protected, such as getting regular checkups for medical concerns, watch your surroundings and where you are performing these acts at, and to have a consensual agreement between you and your client. In the end of it all, I believe prostitution should be legalized because it is a right to choose how we make our money and if we want to use our body to help make that money. It is a form of individualized freedom, and in the United States we have a lot of freedoms and rights, but not including prostitution. By decriminalizing and legalizing prostitution, it can create a safer work environment for individuals. Therefore, not putting shame on the people who decide to choose this lifestyle. Well, thank you for listening to my speech, and hopefully I had some kind of impact on your point of view of prostitution.